Hey, yo, I want to talk about Magic the Gathering play boosters. But first, what is it about play boosters that made me want to dust off the microphone? Okay. Well, you see, after I read the What Are Play Boosters announcement post on the Magic the Gathering blog, which, spoilers, was basically just a long-winded way to obfuscate a price hike, something begun to dawn on me. There has been a premeditated murder. And I don't mean at Karlov Manor. Pauses for laughter? Oh. So what exactly do I mean? Well, cutting to the chase, the victim was draft boosters. I think draft boosters have been murdered. But before I explain what I mean and who I think killed them, it's important that we know several things. What draft boosters actually are, what play boosters will be, what the difference is, and what was said in the announcement blog post, and then my theory as to what's happened. What about set boosters? What about theme boosters? What about starter decks? Yeah, okay, yeah, I hear you. Calm down. I'm getting to set boosters, and the rest really don't matter for the point that I'm making. I'm not going to talk about secret layers or jumpstart or whatever. Hold on, just hear me out. Draft boosters. What are draft boosters? Until recently, draft boosters were the main gateway into playing Magic the Gathering. The exact contents of which have varied over the years, but the modern version contains one basic land card, 10 common cards, 3 uncommon cards, and either 1 rare or mythic rare card for a total of 15 playable cards. Packs would also include an advert marketing card or a token of some kind, which is a card that's referenced by another card, and you do play with it, but doesn't actually go into your starting deck, so it isn't counted as playable. Meaning that, including the non-playable cards, each pack had 16 pieces of cardboard in total, and that's important to remember for now. Foreshadowing. Draft boosters were purchasable by themselves or in a draft box, which would contain 36 packs. The idea being that you and your friends would buy a box, take it home, crack open all the packs, and inside would be enough for you to all build a deck and then play against each other. That method of play is known as the draft format. It's not the only format. Other players maybe wouldn't want to draft, but would want the cards for Magic's main competitive format known as Standard. The difference between the two mostly being that instead of building decks with a single box or expansion, you instead can include cards from a few different expansions that have released over the last few years. And of course, Magic's most popular format is Brawl. Oh wait, sorry, I'm reading here that nobody cares about Brawl, and I'm not going to buy a Brawl deck and play it with you, no matter how many times you ask me, Devon. No, Magic's most popular format is Commander, in which, unlike most other formats, you have 100 cards in a deck, but you can only have one copy of each card, no doubles. Why does this matter? Well, you see, most people weren't buying cards to draft, but instead they wanted the cards for other formats. And so in buying a box of 36 packs, that each contain 10 common cards, but only one chance at a rare or mythic, you'd often end up with a lot of duplicate cards that you probably didn't want, and very few of the rare, mythic rare, powerful ones that you actually did want. So the higher-ups that design the game and print the cards at Wizards of the Coast decided that with the release of the Zendikar Rising expansion, there should be a new product to cater to these players and collectors. Set boosters. Set boosters would contain 1 basic land card, 7 common or uncommon cards, 1 rare or mythic rare card, and 2 wild cards that could be any rarity. But the chance of even one of those wild cards being only uncommon, while the other is common, is 24.5%. There's a 49% chance of both of them just being common. So, let's face it, these may have well just been another common slot. Oh, and packs do contain a 3rd wild card, except this one would be foil. Whoop-de-doo. So that makes a total of 12 playable cards. These packs would also contain an ad or token, just like draft packs, but in addition, they would also have an art card, which isn't playable, but it has a picture on it. Ooh. So in comparison, there's 3 less playable cards and 2 less total pieces of cardboard in a pack between set and draft. And, don't forget, the set boosters aren't designed in a way that if you bought a box of them, you could take them home, build decks out of them, and then play them with your friends like you could draft boosters. Set boosters aren't to be played with, they are to be collected. But what about price? Well, as of the time of this recording, the most current set is the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and because Wizards of the Coast don't have an MSRP for their products, you kind of have to wing it when it comes to price, and that's going to vary between different stores, online, or even regions of the world. And hey, if this works out differently for you, tell me about it in the comments below, let's compare notes. However, looking at my local game store, Caverns of Ixalan draft boosters, which contain 15 playable cards, retail at £4.99. Caverns of Ixalan set boosters, which contain only 12 playable cards, are £5.49? So, more expensive for less cardboard? I mean, how does that make sense? Does the minor chance of getting an extra rare or two increase the printing cost somehow? Are mythic rares just more expensive to design? I doubt it. But what about the boxes? A Lost Caverns of Ixalan draft box is £124.50 and contains 36 packs. Doing the maths, that's £3.46 a pack, over £1.50 cheaper per pack than if you'd have bought 36 packs individually. Let's compare that to the Caverns of Ixalan set booster box, which is £129.50. Okay, so not that much more expensive. But it only contains 30 packs? That's 6 packs less and works out to be £4.32 per pack. That's only £1.17 cheaper than if you'd have just bought the single packs on their own. And you're getting less cards for your money per pack as well. Like I say, obviously these prices are going to vary, but check it yourselves. Look at your local game stores or even Amazon. Crunch your own numbers. You'll see a very similar story. Leave a comment below with what you find. As consumers, I think we need to be talking about this. I asked my local game store which one of these products sells better, and to my surprise, she said set boosters. Like, by a large margin, and I don't know why. I remember when Zendikar Rising came out, we were having, at the time, global supply chain issues, so a lot of stores just couldn't get hold of draft boosters. My local pre-release event went from giving draft boosters as prizes to set boosters instead, and I felt at the time that they were being pushed on us. I don't know why people would choose those instead. I mean, yeah, you have a chance at a few cards being a higher rarity in a pack, but you get less packs for your money. A draft box will contain 36 packs, and with each pack containing one rare or mythic, that's 36 guaranteed rares or mythics. A more expensive set box contains set packs, which, thanks to those 3 wildcard slots, could in theory contain 4 rares or mythics per pack, but it's more likely that they won't. And with only 30 packs in a box, you're more likely to just end up with closer to 30 rares or mythics for your money than you would if you'd have paid for a draft box. Oh, isn't this video on play boosters and a murder? Yeah. I'm getting to it. Let an old bobcat be grumpy. Okay, let's skip ahead and talk about the play booster announcement blog post. Written by a head designer for Magic the Gathering, Mark Rosewater, on the 16th of October, the article titled, "What are play boosters?" asks the question, what are play boosters? Link in the description below. He goes over several points, but in short, play boosters are a new replacement for both the draft and set boosters, which will take elements from each and combine them. The idea here being that you'll have a random wildcard chance of extra rares or mythics from set boosters, but in a draftable pack sold in boxes of 36, so you can buy it and open it with friends, build decks and then play against each other. Inside a play booster pack, you'll find 1 basic land card, 7 commons, 3 uncommons, 1 rare or mythic, and 2 wildcards, one of them foil, which can be any rarity, making for 14 playable cards. To add extra complication, there's a 12.5% chance that the 7th common in a pack is actually a card from the list, which is not a card from the expansion you're currently playing, but is a card from a predetermined selection of cards from previous expansions, of which there's a 1.5% chance that that card is rare or mythic rare. Fuck me sideways. The advert marketing cards, token cards, and art cards all return, but now they share a single slot in a pack, so you're only ever going to get one of them, but which one is going to vary. Meaning, in a pack, there are 15 pieces of cardboard total for your money. And, speaking of money, how much will they cost? Play boosters match the cost of set boosters, not draft boosters, which will result in limited environments going up slightly in cost. So it's going to cost more money to buy a box and draft it with my friends? Yes. But I'll be getting more rares and mythics, right? Isn't that why set boosters cost more in the first place? Well, Blue, As Mark Rosewater says in the blog, the expected value of the booster went up as well, because there are opportunities to pull additional rares and mythic rares. So yes, you will be paying slightly more, but you'll likely be getting more value out of the booster. So you're saying that even though I'm paying more now, I'll be getting better value because per dollar spent, I'll be getting more rares and mythics than before? No, Blue, you fucking idiot, because Mark Rosewater says in literally the next sentence of the post, your rare or mythic rare card ratio per dollar spent will be staying the same. So I'm not getting more rares for my money? Now what you're getting is twice as many rares for twice the cost, something that could have been achieved with draft boxes if you just fucking bought 2 of them. And for that price, you'd have had more playable cards overall. Because don't forget, play boosters have less playable cards in them than draft boosters. So what exactly are the differences in these new play boosters? Well, in comparison to set boosters, they have 2 more playable cards, 1 less wild card, and instead of a guaranteed art card, only a chance at one if you don't get an ad or a token. In comparison to draft boosters, you have a slim chance at an extra rare or mythic, but 1 less playable card overall. And, in addition to the ad and the token, you now have a chance at an art card too now, I guess. What about the boxes? Well, let's let the man tell us himself. Oh, and I suspect he writes these himself, so this is his own words. It's a little clunky to read, but we'll get through it. Play boosters will sell for the same price as set boosters. Play booster display boxes, however, will have 36 boosters, like draft booster displays did, as 2 boxes are exactly enough for 3 8-player drafts. Because that is 6 more boosters than set booster displays have right now, be aware the price of a play booster display box will be higher than that of a set booster display box. Okay, so let's break that down. Let's crunch some numbers as a guesstimate for overall price then. Play boosters are apparently being priced at the same level of set boosters, and as we worked out earlier, the discounted price there for buying them bundled in a box worked out to be £4.32 per pack. So let's take that new number and times it by the number of packs in a box, which is now going to be 36, and we'll get a play box price of £155.50. Now that's not exact because obviously these aren't out yet, and there's rumours of another general price increase due to inflation coming. But as a rough guess, based on the information we've been given, we can see that the previous draft prices were £124.50 a box, a whole £31 cheaper. And again, I want to stress, you are not getting more rares for your money, because as the man himself said, your rare to mythic rare card ratio per dollar spent will be staying the same. What you are in fact getting is shafted. Why? Because you're getting less cards for your money. 1 less playable card per play booster in comparison to draft boosters doesn't sound like much. But when you have 36 boosters in a box, that's 36 less cards overall. There's only 15 playable cards in a draft booster to begin with. That's over 2.5 packs less per box than before. They've taken 2.5 packs out of a box and raised the fucking price. But what if I don't want play boosters? When set boosters were introduced, I could still buy draft if I wanted. Well, not this time, Blue. Play boosters are a replacement, not an addition. Draft boosters are dead. But why? Why have they done this? Why have draft boosters been murdered? Well, that's explained in the blog post as well. In short, the introduction of set boosters split the player base. Most people won't buy both. They'd buy one or the other. And I'm not going to go over here what factors led to people choosing set over draft. It could be people were enticed by the chance of extra rares. Maybe it was a factor of availability. Perhaps Wizards have done a bad job of cultivating draft and standard, and so people just don't want to play those formats. Maybe it's investors buying all the set boxes with their fancy alternative arts and then sitting on them in bulk to sell later. I mean, let me know if you want me to cover a video on that on another time, but any which way, the reality is that set boosters sold. And this meant a decline in draft. As the blog says, our people were saying that given enough time, they believed draft boosters would stop being a thing. The market really didn't want 2 types of core boosters. So, to save draft boosters from stop being a thing, it has stopped being a thing. Draft boosters have gone away, replaced with a more expensive counterpart. And why is it more expensive? Well, because we chose that. We proved with our wallets that we'll buy the more expensive set booster over draft boosters. Mark Rosewater and his team may have been the ones to pull the trigger, but we're the ones that put the price on draft boosters' head in the first place. Draft boosters are dead, and we're the ones that killed them. Or at least, that's my theory. So why am I here talking about it now? Well, because, man, I think it sucks. I'm annoyed that draft boosters have gone away and have been replaced with something more expensive. The entry-level price for Magic the Gathering has just been raised. The cheapest box is now significantly more expensive, and I worry that's going to price players out of the game and scare new ones off from starting in the first place. Mark Rosewater famously said, "Not every product is for you." Well, maybe draft isn't for me then either. And man, that's not fun. I doubt any higher-ups at Wizards of the Coast are going to see this video, but I'm hoping that if the community makes enough noise, they'll realise that not every player is made of money, and then they're going to give us a cheaper alternative. Or ideally, they'll resurrect draft boosters at the cost they are now. So, in conclusion, Brawl sucks, and I don't want to play it, Devon. Stop asking me, man. Fuck! Thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you very much to my sponsor, me. Check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. Hit the like button, leave a comment, install an ad blocker. Most importantly, subscribe and share this video with a friend. Hit the notification bell and do all the things that the algorithm really enjoys. If you agree or disagree with any of my points, or if you want to see me do a video on another subject, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time.